My name is Andrei Kedrin, and I'm founder of Snail Academy. And before our workshop, I would like to introduce our team and to tell a bit about us as well. So who we are, what is it, Snail Academy, and what we are doing. Snail Academy is an educational project, and originally the title Snail was the name of restaurant in animation by Sergei Dragunov. This is Sergei. And Sergei, by the way, another founder of Snail Academy. FSA is an educational project and for all game enthusiasts and CG artists. Because right at the moment, growing industry in gaming industry in Estonia demanding more and more professionals, and the only way how to get experience is to work or study abroad or to be a self-taught artist. And so far we are trying to make the situation better, and we are organizing events and also workshops, next step courses, and then we would like to do proper CG school. Besides me and Sergei, today we have also in our team Mihhail and Yulia. So Yulia is an experienced 3D character artist with an international background, and Mihhail. Okay. And so Sergei is another our game designer artist, and he's doing everything in our project. Okay, and Mihhail, he participated in all our projects, and at the moment he is a game designer in our recent projects. And we believe that knowledge gives freedom to creativity, and creativity makes us better, and because of creativity we do our job better and provide more quality products. Thank you, and now it's time for the workshop.
Hello, hello. I really like to see so many people here today. It's a pretty pleasure for me. Yeah, I didn't doubt that it will be so huge actually, but I will just make a short introduction of our project, what we will do today. So basically, it should be, in the end, it should be brand new game, and all of you can take a part of it. We'll create the assets for the level design and for all the environment. So we will use the sheet of paper. We will provide it for you guys who want to draw actually with us. After that, when you will finish with your kind of asset, you will give it to us, and we will just cut it with Photoshop and put it inside the Unity. So first of all, I really want to say that we prepared a lot. Last week we made already the first level with empty containers, and we will just put all the arts which we will make together today inside our project. So I think we can start already because we have only 1 hour, and it's pretty hard to create the whole game in 1 hour. I will start from the work production breakdown firstly. So what we will do today. Our production will be split in 3 segments. First one should be the game design. We will talk about the mechanics, the core loop, and the technical stuff, like how we will put everything inside the engine. The second one is the art direction. We will talk about how to create something cool with the knowledge which we have. We will just share our knowledge. But this is not means that you need to do as we're talking about. You can make your creativity, you can put your creativity inside the project, and it will make the project much interesting, I think. And the third part is implementation. So we will talk about how we will implementing all the stuff inside the engine, and how the parts should work together. So let's start talking about the game design. So the game design itself, in our kind of game, we will create today something like a prototype with only core mechanic. We will have the simplest game mechanics inside our game, and it should be like the basics, the movements, the jumping, the falling, all this kind of mechanics. It's about the exploration of the environment. So it can call like a explore mechanic. The die mechanic, if you will die somewhere, the score system is mechanic too, because it's somehow interact with the player. We have win condition, background movement, and the explore location. So basically, all these mechanics can be connected in the core loop like that. So in this kind of loop, we will see in the timeline of the game session. I think that's all for game design for our game. It should be pretty simple, just to focus on the production right now. And let's move to the art direction. Yeah, guys? Yes. We will start drawing pretty soon, don't worry. It's just an introduction right now.
Okay, so once again, my name is Mihhail. Nice to meet you all again. So when it comes to the game, it's all about the setting which you will be using in the end. So sometimes it's quite difficult to differentiate what you're going to draw, because maybe you're just out of ideas, and setting gives you a strong opinion what it could be. So we just selected some classical settings like fantasy, steampunk, sci-fi, and from that you may see how different it could look like, and how different the colors could be in the end. So in future it's kind of fancy, steampunk could be grayish, and fantasy, we all know how fantasy look like. So
yeah, I will talk shortly about what kind of tricks we are going to use. So essentially, what assets we would need from you is doodles and fast drawings of the buildings, abandoned castles, whatever you can imagine, what can be under the water. And all the sketches will be cut out in Photoshop. And we're going to apply some atmospheric perspective to those images to create those atmospheric perspective and to add some sense of depth and just to make our game cool. And there's some examples of the atmospheric perspective that you can see. For example, the foreground is more darker, has some more darker colors, it's more have more details and more visible for the viewer, better readable. The assets, what we are going to put in the mid-ground will have less details, less contrast, and less saturated, and etc. Yep. And we choose the color palettes, what we are going to apply to our game. So please, let's make a little voting. Put down on your paper the number of your favorite color palette. So at the end, we will apply the most popular color palette to our game. Yep.
yeah, actually, this is mostly all, but what else I would like to add? So just imagine that if you're an artist, or actually we're all artists and we can all draw, and Unity is just a way how you can express yourself. Imagine the interactivity which Unity gives up to you. So imagine one day you can just walk on your sketchbook from page to page, and this is just another way how you can express yourself in the end. It's not about the gaming, it's about the expressing yourself. So in this case, we will just have some assets which we'll just draw on the knee. We have a game which actually was made on the knee, and like we put everything together to have some, I would say, installation, which will be the game which is made in Unity. So let's do it, and let's not waste the time. So yeah, first of all, Sergei will show how to draw doodles. If anyone knows how to do it, you may start it from the scratch, but yeah, there will be some. So, and actually, yeah, regarding the settings, so I've already told that there are some big topics like settings, and in this case, we've already thought about that. What is the best approach for us, and what has the most of things to draw, and we've chosen the post-apocalyptic theme. So imagine that world is flooded. So I'm sure that all of you have watched that, the movie with Kevin Costner, Sea World or something like that. So imagine, so we are going deep down to the bottom, and there will be a lots of garbage, junk, anything else. You can draw anything you want, because everything will be used in the sand at the end. So we'll be actually, in the end, we'll be going through the gallery of our assets made by you, actually. Because we've already prepared the beginning and the end, but everything you draw will be stored in the beginning. So we'll just walk through the gallery. It will be kind of game. So let's see how it goes.
Once again, do any of you have the paper and the pencils? No. So, Andrei, can you help with that for the people who don't have? Give me one piece, me too. Yeah. Okay. So on this ball pen, you will have this little red circle thing. You need to plug it off, just to know, because for me it was a surprise. I need to switch the computers first, because right now I will translate the live drawing here. Oops. Some technical issues here. Just need to. Не транслирует.
So we are not expecting from you
Видеотехник.
masterpieces like Da Vinci did. But all we did actually, you may see, it's just something is just drawn on this paper. In this case, this is mine work. I drawn the turtle, some platforms, some abandoned flooded houses, and yeah, someone else just did something like this. So do the best you can do. But we are not expecting much from you, because doodling is about the doodling. So.
Shortly, I will soon with the camera. Right now, it's impossible to share the screen. I don't know why, but we're working on that. Yes.
Sorry. So should we draw the environment or should we draw the character?
No characters at all, because we already prepared the character. But if you want to add some fishes or jellyfish, I don't know, or maybe big I don't know, big creature or something to add. It's possible, yeah, to add it, but these characters will be like NPC. They will be not a playable characters, yeah, at all. Just like characters for environment. Thinking about that.
So we are drawing the environment.
Yes. Like the basic platforms, I don't know. Our main idea was to create the abandoned city, like underwater city, which is after some kind of end of the world or something like that. I think in the underwater we can have everything what we have here. For example, the houses, the buildings, the cars, even the planes can be visible somewhere. And just try to open your mind. There is no limitations on what to draw. There is limitations in time, actually, for us, because we need to cut everything and put inside the engine, and that's the limitations for us today. And other limitations, oh, it's already work, yeah, great. So I will just start doing something, and maybe we'll share a little bit about my tricks, how I work on the assets. Great. Julia? So yeah, basically it's pretty visible right now. So firstly, I'm using the shapes, like the full shape, for example. It can be something like a square. Maybe this way will be better. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. That's cool. I will make it bigger if it's possible. Yes, great. So sorry, it's the first time I translating something, but I think it's useless experience for me. So first thing is the shape, and now I can start to just put something inside. I make a decision like to make some abandoned buildings inside, for example. Then I will add some roofs and make some variations of some other stuff like that. I don't know what it can be like. So now I will try to add some different shapes, like to add some variations on the whole scene, how it should looks like. And this trick I call the unity. Like I draw pretty the same shapes, like the squares, but with the different sizes. First one is the smaller, second one is the bigger, maybe one is the rounder, but all these type of shapes connected with the squareness, yeah, and I can call the unity of all these shapes. So, and when I add the unity on the whole scene, I can make different variations inside that squares, and I will start to adding some windows here. Also, damn it, sketch. Also, I forgot that we have prepared yesterday some already created assets. I can show to you what we have at that moment right now. Something like that. It's just a different types of buildings, cars, I don't know. It can be everything what you can imagine underwater. The second one is some kind of rocks with other stuff. Yeah. So yeah, let's continue then. To add another variations, you can add some pipes, for example, to just make a silhouette a little bit different, like that. And at that moment, you don't need to care about the colors, because the colors should be created from us as a whole underwater concepts. Right now, we made the black and white piece of art right now. Just doodling, just make what you like to do without any limitations. Just draw. If you're doing bad, don't worry, create something new. It always happens, yeah. If you care so much, you will make some mistakes or something. And also don't forget about the floor. Some kind of grass, the grass in the underwater, because this kind of settings usually, like if we have something underwater, we will have some kind of green stuff on top of the buildings, like that. Yeah. Also, guys, if somebody of you have a questions, you can ask me in real time, because it will be really great to have a conversation between us, because right now we are the team who create the game, actually. If you have a questions, don't be shy, just ask me. Right now we have something like maybe 10 or 15 minutes for drawing. Yeah, if you're doing something, try to just figure out how to finish in that time, because next step should be about implementation a little bit, about preparing for import all the stuff into engine, and also implementation. So what I'm doing right now, firstly I created the pretty simple shapes, and now I'm trying to make it with variations, to just add some details on it, to transform the unity with variety of the details. And once again, just relax and make some doodles. Also, I will try to add some depth on this picture, so I will add something on the far away from here. For example, I can make some skyscrapers with some different type of roofs, and we can add some hanging clothes things to make some interest, to make some narrative maybe on the picture. So if somebody will finish, he can already give the drawing to Andrei. Yeah, if you will finish earlier than 10 minutes. Yeah? Ah, you finished. Okay. Correct. I will start second one. It should be maybe some fishes. Why not? So also, I forgot to mention about some traps. You can also create something like a spikes or something, or maybe this sea creature who can damage you, because we will have this death mechanics in the game engine, and it will be great to have different type of traps for the player. So if you want to, you can draw also aggressive ones, like some kind of creatures with some spikes. Yeah, I really like drop boxes. It's always fun. Hey guys, from the second floor, are you drawing something too? No? Great. Then when you finish, you can give it to this guy. Great. Wow. So interesting. Maybe I can show the ideas on the camera. Yeah? Just to. Wow. So first one. Yeah. It's a deep laundry. I like this a lot. Yeah. Nice doodling, guys. The snail. Snail with nose. So fun. The old town. Yeah, this one is pretty useful for the assets, I think. Yeah, great. But it not want to say any bad things about that, but this is the best part. Here it is. I don't know what is this, but it looks pretty abstract. I think we could put it somewhere. We will try actually to add everything what you draw here today, but I'm not sure right now that we will have a time to cut everything in Photoshop because it's a lot of things to do. But we promise that we will make as much as possible. Yeah. Great. This one is great actually. Especially I like this bottom part. Great. Something like a cool platform for walking here. Yeah, I love this too. Actually, it will be great if you guys, somebody of you will create some platforms for jumping, because right now it's just some elements. Maybe who still not finishing, maybe can draw the platforms like just lines or something, or pipes, I don't know, just to put it inside the game design to make the level design a little bit differently. So. Figure out what we can do there. Just want to try one experiment here. Yeah, it worked. Ah, so cool. I know the tricks, yeah. I just will try to attract you a little bit between the working hours. Yeah. 13:05. So I think really soon we will start to talk about the preparing for importing the assets. Yulia, I think maybe we will have several minutes for switch to the next stage because we have a pretty limited amount of time and we need to do so much still. Can you switch microphone? Yes.
Hey, I would like also to add that if you have your favorite 3D or 2D artist and you would like to see him in Tallinn, let us know. So then on the last slide will be our contacts, because we really would like to get those guys to Tallinn and to make a cool workshop. So please don't be shy. But of course, the best option on the first level to have them more or less near Estonia. But we will try to do our best. So thank you. And yeah, by the way, if maybe you would like to do this by yourself, to do some workshop or presentation, this suits well, so let us know as well. Thank you. While we are preparing materials, I'm just curious, how many 3D artists do we have here? Could you raise a hand? 3D artists. How many 3D artists do we have here? Okay, and 2D artists? Ah, more 2D guys here. Nice. How many of you have international education abroad? I'm talking about specific art education. And how many of you finished Art Academy, Estonian Art Academy? Thank you. Also, you can say what topics are more interested for you. More workshops according to traditional drawing or strictly digital. Any opinions? Because we all the time thinking what kind of workshops you are looking mostly. Traditional one or not traditional, only like CG, because it's also possible to make some anatomy classes, for example, if you are working with a character design, for example.
So I will switch to the next part of our workshop. It's pretty close to implementation. We should prepare everything to actually put inside the Unity and how we will work with that. It's pretty simple operation. We will just cut it with the magic wand. But I just need to set up the monitor. Yeah, let's do this way right now. It's the simplest option, yeah. So what we have here? So, for example, if I will want to cut this part of scene, I will just select it, then use the magic wand to deselect some part of those. So now using this some shortcuts, it's a Command Command J on the Mac, and now we have the first asset for our game. It's the simplest thing, I think, to do, but it only works when you have the closest close shapes, because if you will not have the closed shapes, then it's impossible to select it with the magic wand. So most of these kind of works which we have here, I saw that we don't have on some of those the closed shapes. I forgot to mention about that, but also it can be fixed with some tools in Photoshop. So again, what we have here. For example, we have this nice little crab. And again, I'm just using magic wand with the Alt. It works like a deselecting. So yeah, like this. So yeah, here we have this not closed shape. In some places, yeah, I see it. And if I have the problems like that, I usually using the mask to understand what I can do here. Yeah, I using the mask. Now I see the places which is not filled with the color, and I just using the simplest brush pen tool to draw on top of that stuff. Yeah, like that. And after I will do that, you can see that I not really care right now about these shapes, because I can just fix it a little bit later. Again, with this magic wand tool. If you're familiar with the Photoshop, I believe that for you this tool should be the simplest one. Oops. But yes, sometimes we should fix the lines, because in some reason it's impossible to use the magic wand in the situations like that and like that. No. You guys working on this stuff too? No. So I show it the main tools right now, and now we should figure out somehow all the assets, and I think I need to finish with representing that kind of tools to just finish all this stuff in time. Yeah. To attract you guys a little bit, I will just show right now some kind of projects which I have on that moment. Hey guys, can you switch to this MacBook right now? Yeah, great. So, yeah, this is one of the assets which I made yesterday for our workshop. Also, you remember this guy from the presentation? It's created with the Procreate in an iPad. Actually, it's a perfect tool for drawing if you are artist. Yeah. And what else I have here? This one. So I have a cool girls, pretty colorful. I really like manga stuff, and I work on that last month. I create a pack of the manga girls. You can see it here. It's a pretty actually complex work. So firstly, I'm trying to find some kind of reference, like this one. Yeah, you can see here. And I'm trying to figure out how the shapes of that object and how to put it on the paper. Then I create something like that. It's a finished type of character. And after that, I'm using some ink strokes to give all the shapes the mass, to have a chance to fill it with some colors. And here in the Procreate, it's a pretty simple thing to add some colors on your drawings. You need to just drag and drop it on the place which you want to fill it up. So yeah, this is my favorite part on the Procreate itself. What else I can show you today? Also, I really like to make some textures in Procreate because it's a pretty big amount of brush variations here. You can use, for example, some patterns to texturize your work. For example, if I will choose the red color here, you can see how I can add some textures on top of that. It's like a stones. What else we can do in Procreate? Also in Procreate, there is some kind of chance to show the time lapse of your working process. It's pretty useful if you're learning how to draw something. You can see your actions, how you manage with your idea, how you finish your work, and it's pretty powerful for you as a student, or I don't know, to understand all your moves from the time lapses. Yeah. So it's not advertising on the Procreate and Apple iPad, but I just really want you to try it, because for me it was like an explosion in my kind of works when I can take this tool with me and make for example, the live drawing in any places which I have. For example, this is my working table. From the studio, I draw it in 15 minutes with this kind of tools. Also, sometimes just to keep on track, to practice, I using this shape creativity training for me. So usually I trying to make some shapes, and after that I will add some faces on those to understand what kind of characters they can be. And after that I try to put some for example, here I made all the characters as a fruits, and it's pretty interesting. Oops, it's not the same file. Yeah, So here it is. So if you're working on the shapes and then put some faces on it, it's quite more interesting, as you can see here. I will show another tools which I use it sometimes for create some symmetrical stuff. It's a symmetrical lab. For example, right now we have only 6 sides symmetrical part. It's pretty useful if you need to, for example, make something like face. Yeah, you can just draw it pretty fast here. And as always, the results is pretty interesting because when you draw the first part, you didn't recognize what you will have in the end, yeah? Because when you concentrate on the whole image, it's not the same as when you dropped only a half of it. Also, I think in the last version of Photoshop, they have already plugged this function to make a symmetrical paint with your brush if you will use some kind of actions. So guys, how you think? Do you need a help? Assistance? Then I will just cut some kind of pictures with the iPad. Which ones is empty? This? So the next part, it's about the implementation. Mihhail will just show how he will add the assets which we created today inside the game engine. It's pretty simple actions, and you will see it right now.
Okay, actually in Unity, wait for a while, I will switch to my computer. Yep.
С той стороны, походу.
Да. HDMI, да?
Сможешь сделать, чтобы копия экрана была, мне кажется, тебе надо.
Все. Okay, so actually it's quite straightforward in Unity. So we've already set up some kind of scene, and you may see we have some kind of assets which been used as previously. So these are things which were cut by Sergei and Yulia. You see we have a different stuff. Everything is put in white, and the thing that actually in the beginning of this workshop we've asked to select the preferable color scheme, and because in Unity you can just multiply anything on some color. So the thing, let me choose anyone. So we can choose whatever color we want. So in the end we'll just put everything up to colors that we've liked a lot. So once guys are just cutting off everything in Photoshop, like I have everything put into the Dropbox, and in Unity you just drag and drop a thing and asset is automatically like put into the assets. So once you have it, in case of this project, we have been using like the most, like we've used the sample asset from Unity Asset Store, which is called 2D Platformer, and actually we haven't like changed it a lot. Actually, we've just mostly removed all unneeded parts. So, but in the end, like what functionality you'll have with it, just to walk around. So, okay. Seems like computer works quite slowly, yeah. So this is our character here, and we just can walk around on that stuff that we already did. So all I will do, so I see that assets are like being prepared here, and I see some walls, for example, were added. I do the copy paste of that asset, so I will replace this asset like with the new one, and you see, it's everything about the collisions. So in Unity, it's a component called polygon collider, which actually makes your object as a collider. So once we will put it here, I don't know. Actually, I'm just composing the scene, and I don't know how it should look like. For me, it's okay like this one. Okay, and imagine, yeah, we'll go through this map like with the hero. So like, okay, I will just use the same asset, like rotate it a bit, maybe use it like, oh, no. Yeah, I wanted to build. It's too early to build. So I'm copy pasting once again. I flip it. I rotate it like to make it more unique, maybe like, okay, like let's do this. So yeah, imagine it could be any of your art, like you can just doodle and like do something. So let's see like how it went. Like it went. So we're going down as we're sinking down to the bottom. Yeah, you see like everything is like a grayish, but still it has some kind of style which has been created by you and me and like anyone else. Like, oh, seems like, oh, no. Yes, we won't die. But as you may see, yeah, the level will be quite a long one. But imagine this as a gallery, like you're going to some gallery and there's infinite like kilometers of walking. So yeah, like this is a part. I'm see this is someone's assets, like, and I see a crab here as well, quite nice crab. Yep. Oh, seems we're stuck here, and like this is a reason why those polygon colliders sometimes should be adjusted. As you may see, like this is some kind of not the scale, but yeah, and this could be edited as well via the Unity with edit colliders. So we can add more points, like if we like want to do such things. But we've used the polygon collider just to ensure that everything will be somehow like lined up. Of course, in certain cases, like we could use, for example, box collider, like the most classic one. And yeah, you see it has the border outside. So yeah, but in this case, we've like somehow managed to use like this stuff, like polygon colliders. So I'm seeing that more stuff is added to the project. Okay, let's like do the more. Okay, what it was like? It was some stuff, called stuff. I like it a lot. Okay, copy paste. And actually this project, we'll just put it somewhere on the internet, and if any one of you is not familiar with Unity, you can just drag and drop your assets like into the sprite section, and actually everything should be working like as this. So yeah, this was asset, we remove component and we'll put just a new one, like polygon collider as is. So yeah, we already have an asset. Yeah, as you see, it's layer ground, it's put in sorting layers. This is being used to determine like where like this asset will be shown. So maybe it will go background, so we'll just put like any other layer. So like this, like in this manner, we'll just build up our level. Actually, we're already building it. And we're going straight to the end, like this is the end. And for sure, yeah, we can like move this part like more deeper. So you doodle, you add, you play, you chill, you get the profit. And this is the most coolest part of the Unity. So then, actually, we've added some other stuff. So as you may see, like it has some structure. Like so, on the left part, it's like hierarchy, and you may see we have foregrounds, we have midgrounds, and we have backgrounds, and some particles, like the bubbles which are floating around, and so on and so on. But since we don't have a lot of time, we want to see like what we did. So I'm checking, seems like even more of assets were added, like, okay. Like let's add this one. Whoops. Oops. So yeah, it's all about expressing yourself via the way you may do it. So yeah, I see some platform has been added to my Dropbox. Yes. Platform. Oh, quite a good one. So many talented people here around. So I'm just wondering, like, okay, let's take some platform, copy paste it. So platform will go here. Actually, like you see, it's quite big. We can scale it. And we'll do that. So I am just resetting that polygon collider. Yeah, I'm seeing. Actually, I like it a lot. So yeah, let's make it a bit smaller. Okay. No, I'm doing it with shift, so like proportions will stay the same. Hope so. And yeah, but since just additional reason why we can use, for example, box collider, because you see, us looks quite cool, and I want ground to be just here. So I would just remove this and add box collider. It could be also adjusted, so like the size could be like changed. So actually, like this is what I wanted. So my hero will just stay here, and for him that will be the ground. Since everything is set up, so like let's check it how it went. Actually, like it's the best art I saw. Like, whoa, it's even better than we do. Okay, I will scale it as well. Just once again. Okay, let's assume that this is the beginning of the game. Like, and we'll jump off from the cliff, like diving into the ocean, like deep fun, and like see whoop, how it goes. Yeah, we're standing here. You see, it's quite good. So. Something made on the paper on the knee could be actually easily translated from analog to digital on the fly. And yeah, Unity is quite a good way to express yourself. So if you want like this scene, like just ask, like, and we'll just give all the assets we have here, because it's all about the educational purposes and about having fun and chilling. So let's check. Maybe we got more like of stuff cut out. So as you may see, I'm like inserting stuff more quicker. Of course, we can like spend more time like adjusting like things upon a scene and doing it more like perfect. But you know, like even once you're doodling, like there's no way for perfection. So, because as an artist, I would say that you cannot perform perfect all the time. Sometimes you need just to stop. And I would say, like in this case, we already have some kind of level design, because it's it's how you are going to pass through the levels. And as I said, since level is a kind of gallery of assets, so for us it doesn't actually matter like how it will be look like. The only thing it should be walked, you should be able to walk through it. That's all. So, but just to add on top of it, so by default that Unity asset which we've been used like has some additional stuff on top like background animations like spawner of things. So if we just I will show. So if we'll just move it here, there's some, you see here are particles. Particles could be easily added, and these are also like hand-drawn like particles. So you see it's just a similar bubble appearing again and again. Seems we'll have some fishes right here, and actually like there should be a big whale floating somewhere behind the sands. Yeah. The same as the cloud is here. Yeah, it's all goes from the default assets, which will be. Yeah, you see, like, like this. Yeah, crazy man, like goes on. Oh, with cut leg, seems like his leg was cooked. Yeah, and yeah, since we call it a game, yeah, we can die. Yeah, somehow. This was also included in standard scripts, but for us it looked okay. Because actually I was thinking about such a thing that since it's a gallery, why you should even die? Like it would be quite weird like to die. So let's assume that we're having some kind of journey game. We all know like the most popular journey game is a Minecraft creative mod. So like you walk, you chill, and like you relax. And this is actually what we did this workshop. We drawn a bit, we got something new, and like we put everything into like Unity. That's why it's called GDD. So I saw Yulia prepared some. Whoa, whoa, yeah. So we'll add just two latest ones. I see the whoa, super fish, super sign, and like. Super something else. Okay. Since everything is put on the foreground, I still copy paste. Actually, I like this a lot. Yes. Rotation 0. It's all about the colliders. Yeah, I will still do the same. Like I will add polygon collider. So we can stand on the top of it like this one, for example. Cool. I like it a lot. So what else we had there? We had some fishy. Wow. So cool. Okay. Maybe fishy will be laying down on the bottom. So I will just copy paste it. Put instead of it, remove component, like add the new one. So yeah, fish already here. We can even jump on it, like so. Use it as a platform. I like it a lot. Like. And the last one will be some kind of sign, actually done by some. Okay. Okay. Yeah, our sign will be standing just here. What's written like? More beer. Okay, like sounds cool. I would just adjust it a bit to have some kind of complete scene. Yeah. this actually in this point, so since camera has been set up and by default it was set up to follow the character which actually is running on the scene. There's a limitations like an offsets like how the character should be look, but so yeah, and there's a setting which is the most farthest like part what will be shown, and since we have moved our ending like till the most bottom, we need to like adjust it as well. So we fall down, whoops, actually we died. I will remove those, like, this is so crude. Yes, yes, actually I'm almost finished. And yeah, can you hold? So since we have a midground and foreground and background, we had some assets put on the midground. So like I will copy paste them and just move it on. This gives us that effect that Yulia was talking about. So it's like when the things in which are located more far are like making some kind of effect, like so. We'll do it more. Whoops, like this. X, yeah. So this is our scene, and in the end, what we will do, we just put those colors we had. Yulia, please prepare those ones. So I actually, as we said, we should be we have been voted for the best palette we've mostly liked, but I don't know like what is the best. I'm not sure if we even like were able to count those votes. So let's take any, just to make it clear. Yulia? Wow. Actually, I'm removing spikes to pass through the whole level. I don't want to die because I'm so young. Давай. Okay. Oh yeah, I will actually let the Yulia choose the colors because girls are better at coloring. They know much more than us. The guys like lipsticks, like eyelashes and so on. So, yep. So this will be...
Let's make it grayscale.
Yeah, let's make it in a grayscale. But maybe some bluish, no?
Why not?
Yeah. So we've selected those midgrounds, and they became just a bit bluish. So yeah, now we're selecting all the foregrounds, base platforms. No, platforms. Yeah. Yeah, expand it and like just select them all. Actually, we are not speaking about like the performance, how well it will go, but since we'll have only one scene and we assume that we won't put hundreds of megabytes of assets like within one scene, we shouldn't care about the performance. Every computer should be able to handle that stuff. So, yeah, you see, everything has become bluish, and now we can see that it's deep blue sea. So let's add something on the background, which actually was a black one. And by default, it was like this.
Let's leave it.
Will we leave it as this? Yeah, it looks cool. And yeah, in the end, imagine this is your gallery, like, and you're playing it into it, like, you can think whatever you want, but it could be anything. So next time, try to do something, and it will give you a lots of joy to experiment with such things. And use Unity, use your imagination, use it as your advantage, use your knowledge, be happy, and big up. Okay, I will pass over.
Yeah, thanks for your attention, thanks for participating, and if you would like to see the final product, the game, just find us with our t-shirts. You can recognize us and let us your email, so we will send you a final product, and that's it. Thank you.